everybody, welcome back to my car. I'm currently at SU, Santa Clara University, sitting in the parking lot. I just got finished with some business here, and so I'm a little bit out of breath, but I just thought I would take this time to talk about how to manifest amazing things for yourself, how to have the exact experience that you want. So, without further ado, let's just get into my childhood and where I started. I grew up very timid, really shy. Okay, I love talking to people, but was always just incredibly unsure how to start conversations with people and how to just connect on a deeper level. Like, I would be so inspired by people that are amazing speakers. When people say, oh, they were just so powerful, they were so insightful, they really spoke to me, they are the kindest person ever, they are just so inspirational. The way other people talked about people like Malcolm X and MLK and Maya Angelou, like, I really wanted to be like that growing up. I don't know. I've always wanted my words to have impact. I wanted to have influence, and I just really wanted to feel like my words and my speech would make a difference. And here I am, like, I don't know, 15 years later, and I was a panelist, and I came in here not knowing any of the questions, any of the, like, I didn't plan anything. I didn't even have, like, my little intro planned out, and I don't know, today morning I did the best I can meditate. I couldn't really meditate, but I visualized exactly like what the crowd was going to be like, what my reception was going to be like, how I was going to present myself, and it went like that and way better than what I could have ever imagined. People came up to me for hours telling me how elegant I am, what a great speaker I am, how my advice was so practical and so it related better to a younger audience, and just how engaged everybody was, and it meant so much to me. Even people that couldn't speak English, they would come up to me with their translator and tell me how beautiful I look today, how I'm so poised, and how they couldn't believe that someone so young was able to speak like that. And they were like, we've heard students from MIT talk, we've heard people from like these huge companies talk, and I wish I recorded your whole speech because you were just so amazing. And I was like telling my the person next to me, like, write that down, because like you just had such great advice, and so many people that I respected and I have so much admiration for came up to me after my event and were telling me just how inspired they were and how they want to like work with me after. So it was a really big like validation moment, because I feel like I've been looking for this a lot when I was a kid, and then when I just kind of stopped trying, it worked. I won't say I just stopped trying, because it took years of like public speaking and putting myself in positions where I could talk and learning how to talk in so many different situations. And yeah, it was like years and years and years of hard work. But anyways, let's talk about how to manifest like a presence, right? So let's say you want to be like a really big influencer, you want to have like millions of followers, you want to be able to connect with your audience in a very specific way. I would say whatever dream you have, even if it's weird, even if I would think it's weird, it's valid, okay? You do what you want to do, because your life and your desires and who you want to be is real. Like, if you want to be the CEO of your own thing, do that. Like, so many people came up to me and they were like, yeah, I really want to work on this nonprofit, and they were so young, and I was like, do it. Like, their stories are really inspiring, the people that came up to me after. But you're never too young, you're never too old, you're never too much of this or that. Like, don't put yourself into any box, because society already does that, and it's not going to help you get any closer to your goals, unless you are using parts of your culture, your like something about you in order to like market yourself to a very specific audience, or it's part of like your personal brand. You know, that's a whole other video. But anyways, be very clear about your goals, and don't let anything stop you mentally. Like, if it's a goal, like, it's okay to have doubt, but don't add anything anymore to it. Stop listening to people who like talk down on you, because when you get like emotional about it, you give into the emotions, that's what like holds you back mentally from like proceeding forward, at least in a very like smooth manner, right? Because you want things to like flow with ease. Like all about the whole thing about manifestation is learning how to like be successful with ease. Like yes, for many years I was super successful, but it was never with ease. It was always with like burning the midnight oil, like getting into fights with everyone, being the drama queen, always like feeling that the world was against me, always thinking that nothing's ever going to work out for me, always thinking like I have to work hella hard now in order to like get myself out of this bubble I'm in. Just like constant negativity, right? And it wasn't good for me, it wasn't good for anyone around me. So also be positive. Next, you have to meditate. Though you can't you can manifest. I was going to say you can't really manifest that meditation. That's not true. They say you're constantly manifesting, and now that I'm able to manifest like in such a godlike way, I understand how humans like are constantly manifesting without even like being very self-aware about it. So in order to manifest, it's really good if you meditate, because you need to start with a very fresh palette. Like a fresh mind, a fresh canvas. The reason for this is because when you are trying to manifest from a very emotional state, from a very unconscious state, you are just going to manifest more things that kind of just piss you off more, or you aren't going to be like open to receiving. You're going to be full of self-doubt. Like there's numerous things that come into picture when you're operating from the mind itself. And remember, from my other videos I talk about this, like meditation is all about like letting go of the mind. So you want to meditate and manifest from a very calm place. Next, once you've reached stillness, you want to memorize kind of how that, it's not hard to, you're not going to forget what that feels like, because it's a very euphoric and pleasant state. You always want to like return to that state as many times as you can throughout the day. So meditate in the morning as soon as you wake up, because as soon as you wake up, your mind starts turning on. You have chemicals flowing through your body, like adrenaline, whatever, things that your body needs in order to like kind of get out of bed and get started with your day. You usually, when this happens, your mind starts like racing and picking up, and you don't want that to happen. So as soon as you wake up, meditate to kind of like bring that down, and then you can have a really pleasant start to your day, and also you just can hold that presence within you throughout the day. And then before you go to sleep, you want to meditate as well, just to kind of quiet the brain down. It also helps you get a better night of sleep, and also you don't have like weird dreams like I do. At least I don't. And then by regulating yourself this way, it's a lot easier for you to stay very present. You have like less swing in your emotions, and you have balance. And there's lots of ways to reach that state. I always say meditate. Some people like to do breath work. You can watch my other video on how to manifest when you're in your waiting period to get more ideas on things you can do to reach that state. And then once you've meditated and you're feeling that like presence within, what you want to do is visualize what you're I feel like I'm saying the same stuff everybody else is saying, but you have to listen to me, because everything that I'm doing works for me, and I want it to work for you. If you're listening to me, it's because you want it to work for you. So when you meditate, keep your eyes closed and start visualizing what you want to have happen, right? So I visualize I'm on this stage, I'm at this podium, I'm memorizing like where my hands are in my lap, like my hand gestures, the way I nod and the way I smile, and what feeling I have when I'm doing those actions. And then I memorize how other people are acting towards me and the decisions that they're making towards me. And I feel like in your gut you will know whether you're kind of being crazy or not. I feel like when it comes to other people, I'm really good at manifesting the things that they say like word for word. Like if I want like a very specific compliment, if I want them to talk about like a very specific thing about my personality, this is all in terms of compliments. Like I've been able to manifest things like word for word, and it's insane. Whereas I cannot control how like people convey that to me, but I can kind of manifest like actions in general, like the amount of like applause or like the general sentiment that they're feeling. So it might be different for you. I'm just saying what works for me. So you want to like kind of play this movie out in your head as if like it's happening right now. And you want to memorize what that feeling feels like in your body, right? And if you don't feel anything, that's okay. Just be calm, like keep meditating, hold that presence within. The difference is in saying I want this to happen versus like this is gonna happen. Like I'd like it to happen. It's gonna happen. I desire this happening. It's happening. But thinking, oh my god, like I can't do this. I really want this to happen. Adding a lot of like negative emotional charge to it is only gonna like delay it. So oftentimes you'll see like you'll get the compliment you want, but it's not from the person you want. Or like the thing that you want to happen, it'll like half happen. Or like for example, like I've gotten the job interview for like the job of my dreams. Like it's insane, like 6-figure salary to figure out what they're gonna do with like a $2 billion budget, and like I don't know, it was just like everything that I wanted, right? I go through like a couple rounds of interviews and I don't get the job, and I'm like, what? I thought that was supposed to manifest. One, yeah, I could have probably practiced more, but also I feel like it's like kind of like dangling in front of me, but still out of my reach because there is still a lot of like self doubt, and I feel like that those type of patterns happen when you're not fully how do I say this? Where you're not doing things 100% right. Let me just say that, right? Because there's so many different things that you could be doing wrong. Like you can have too much emotional charge. You can have like too much like self doubt. You could have I don't know what else. These are like my two biggest things, right? So yeah. So once you visualized it, it feels good. Eventually, you're gonna kind of want to like move on to the next thing. Open your eyes and then get started with your day, and then just be like, "Cool, I know what's gonna happen. Don't need to think about it anymore. Go brush your teeth, get ready, go do things that make you happy, and then when the time comes around, like that exact thing should happen. Like I promise you, if you're doing it right, it will happen. I promise. And if you're not doing it right, you're still gonna get something. And I always believe that no matter what happens, it's always a learning lesson. Even if like the worst possible thing could have happened, at least you could say you tried, and now you know what to do differently next time or like what to look out for. And I think a lot of this like manifesting spiritual hullabaloo stuff, it's just nonsense. I'll be real. It's a lot of nonsense. And it's hard to figure out like what you're doing right versus doing wrong. But at the end of the day, like you will see trends and patterns in your life that really, really speak to you, that really stand out to you. And if you're religious and you have faith, you'll really feel like God's talking to you. Or you would just know like this is the way my life was supposed to go. Or you'll feel like this is the next thing that was supposed to happen. And no matter what, you're always going to have that resolve and move forward. So I try not to preach too much to people about like what's real and what's not, because who knows? I'll never know what's real or like what's really out there. But I do know at the end of the day, like I want my followers to have the peace and the confidence and the inspiration to just like move forward and like push the envelope. That's all I want. Push the envelope. Push the envelope. So yeah, just all of the I worked on a nonprofit when I was 16, and I wanted to give kids the confidence in like small little ways to like propel them forward to like the STEM future that they want for themselves, right? And today a mom came up to me and she was like, "Hi, you might not remember me." I remembered her face, but I forgot her name. One of her students, one of her daughters, when they were really young, were part of my programs when they were a kid. And she told me, like, yeah, like, she was really shy, but, like, she felt like it was really instrumental. Like, your workshops, the nonprofit you're working on was really instrumental in helping her get confidence for, like, doing more projects in STEM, and now she's doing this and doing that, and she really want to be part of this, and she's still connected with your robotics team, and yeah, and like her older daughter, she's I think she said she's at Cal Poly now, like doing CS or computer or something. So I literally teared up because that's all I wanted. I'm crying. That's all I wanted. I've always wanted people to just like, especially young kids to come in like really wide-eyed and not sure what's going on and get their hands busy working on something, whether it's like a little robot or like a computer that they're coding on, and just seeing them realize that this is something that they can do, and that will stick with them. And hearing mom say that like 8 years later, it's I am definitely gonna like cry a little bit later. Like I started tearing up in front of her because it just meant so much to me. And now her daughter is like winning like big awards for the work that she's done in CS. So I'm just really satisfied. A mom asked me like how I feel like presenting, and like the first word is like comfortable. Like I kind of always, the fact that I'm like here doing things I would never thought I would be able to do as a kid, but I'm doing it with so much like confidence and pomp and grace. All the words you could use. I just feel comfortable because I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm so comfortable with public speaking. You could ask me very personal questions in front of a big crowd, and um, I'll give you something that sounds good for sure. I'll give you real advice, um, and I'll deliver it gracefully and with confidence and with the mind of a. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm sorry. It's been a really long day. I just finished the event and got into my car and wanted to share. So I really hope that you use my words as inspiration to keep moving forward in whatever it is you're working on. And manifesting only really works when you're meditating, so I hope y'all are meditating. I feel like none of y'all meditate when I tell you to meditate. So I hope I know some of you guys meditate actually. So kudos to you. Keep going no matter how hard it gets. I think when you start meditating, it is really, really hard for the first couple years, because as you meditate, so like this is your mind, right? It's constantly going up, constantly going down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. When you meditate, it brings it to a baseline. But the issue is you're not meditating like all day, because you have to like feed the kids, you gotta go to work, you gotta go to, I don't know, chem class. So like when things happen in your external world, like it will jerk up and down, and you're just like, well damn, like I wanted to keep it at the baseline, but it's hard. So I understand that it can be really tough navigating life when you first start getting into it. But no matter what, like the rewards are first of all limitless. It's euphoric. You feel so great. You're able to manifest so much better. You don't have to try for anything. Like I would just show up, do my stuff, and people just come up to me. And there's never this sort of, I need to do this. I have to get this person's attention. I need this project. I really want this paper on my desk. You just sit back and you just, it feels very orchestrated, very, it doesn't even feel robotic. It feels very romantic, actually, the way life just like has its ebbs and flows, and sometimes things wash up on your shore, and you take it and you keep walking on your beach so happily. I've never been in a place in my life where I just feel like I don't have to do anything anymore and things are just working out so beautifully. Early on in my like spiritual journey, I felt like I had to work hard, but things would still like pop up, like miracle type stuff would pop up for me. And I now learn like I don't even have to work hard anymore. I mean, I do want to like work towards my goals, but you know what I mean? Like there's no like stressing and feeling overworked or overburdened by situations anymore. Like the things people say on my behalf, I have all of the compassion and respect and admiration and support and love from colleagues and coworkers and friendships and employers and future business connections, more than I could ever ask for. And I can sit here and tell you that with so much confidence because it's really so true and I believe it. And I'm just amazed and I'm so joyous, and I just love my life. I just love this little life. So yeah, thank you for being on this journey with me. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to comment. And I love you guys so much. So very much. And yeah, I hope to hear from you guys soon. Mwah!